Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. Today, the Houston Astros is 5-4 in 7 innings against the Chicago White Sox. This lose the series. White Sox get their 10th win of the year. Astros go to 17-16, and you know what? I'm really frustrated, and it's not really about the way the Astros performed today. Do I think the Astros played well today? No. But I think the offense looked pretty good through 7 innings. The offense had 9 hits in 7 innings, and Stephen Okert and Ryan Gusto didn't pitch very well today when they went out there. Mainly Stephen Okert, who gave up some damage, and because of that, the Astros lose 5-4. But the rain delay is what really pisses me off more than anything, because a part of me does believe that the Houston Astros, getting 2 more innings at the plate, I feel like they could have, won. They could have won this game potentially. I believe so, especially with Dezenzo and Jake Myers, 2 guys. The bottom of the order. Sometimes you look at it, those are the guys who would have had, the at bats after that. After all that. Sometimes you look at the bottom order and it's at the end of the game and it's like, oh, this is not good. But the bottom of the order is what brought in most of the offense today. 5 of the 9 hits was the bottom of the order. Zach Dezenzo hit a home run today, his first of the season. Jake Myers, had reached base 3 times today. He's on fire right now. He's reached base 7 straight times. Brendan Rodgers had a hit today. Dubon had a 2 RBI hit. The bottom of the order was doing the production. That's where the Astros were going to in the final couple innings. Plus Pena and Altuve and Christian Walker, who had 2 hits today, would have potentially had at bats. The 6 batters the Astros would have had after if the final 2 innings would have went out. The 8th and 9th inning, if they would have happened. And there was no rain delay, the Astros would have had Dezenzo, Myers, and Rodgers due up in the 8th, and then the 9th would have been Dubon, Pena, and Altuve, and Christian Walker would have had an at bat if the Astros got anybody on base. And so those are some of the guys that were doing the best in the lineup today. And so what frustrates me, they call the game. It's not like these 2 teams aren't going to see each other again this year. The Astros and the White Sox meet each other in a game, in a series in Houston in the beginning of June like 11th, 12th, and 13th, I believe it is, that the Astros face the White Sox for a 3-game series in Houston. Why not finish out the 2-game series in June? It's not like that. Look, that's not after the trade deadline, so you don't have to worry about anything with the whole thing of what happened with Danny Jansen, where he was traded and basically played for this in the same game for 2 different teams like that. When that happened with the that happened for the Red Sox, the Red Sox and Blue Jays, but June, the rosters, that's a month from now. The rosters should be close to the same. Honestly, I don't know why they could have just finished these last 2 innings in June when the Astros, play this White Sox team again in June. It's not like this was a game that was a crusher. I remember the Yankees had a game, I don't remember against who. I want to say it was against the Giants, where the Giants were kicking them just straight. Giants were absolutely whooping them. And there was a rain delay, 6-7 innings in, something like that, and they called the game. The Yankees are obviously going to lose the game if it continues. This is a game where the Astros are playing one of the worst teams in the league, and the offense was having a good day, a 1-run game. And there is no way to say that the Astros would have not, in the next 2 innings, not scored a run or 2, and so it's really frustrating. But let's go over the stats of this game. 5-4 is the final score. 9 hits for the Astros, 7 for the White Sox. 1 error, that goes to the Astros. Win goes to Vassell. He's 1-1 in the year now, 2 1/3, giving up 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 strikeouts. 1 walk. Loss goes to Stephen Okert. He's 1-1 in the year now. He pitched 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. I'm not going to be too upset about Okert. Funny thing is, gives up 2 earned runs a day in one inning, and with that, his ERA is still 1.69. He came into the day 15 innings, 1 earned run. And this is something that Todd Callis and Jeff Blum, the Astros announcers, pointed out today. Steven Okert, when he was out there pitching today, he was pitching in the rain, and you could tell that the weather and the conditions was playing a serious impact on Steven Okert. He was having trouble getting balls into the strike zone and was just really having a tough time that we've not seen before this year. And I think the rain and those conditions definitely played a role in that, giving up one walk and 2 hits and 2 earned runs in that inning. In the fifth inning, sixth inning. So yeah. So scoring summary: 2 RBI single for Mauricio Dubon, 2-0. Here's the funny thing: Mauricio Dubon has 6 RBIs this year. All 6 of his RBIs are 3 pairs of 2 RBI singles, and I think all of them are with the bases. No, I think they're all with the bases loaded. I think this one was today. I know there's one other RBI single, 2 RBI single he has with the bases loaded. I don't know if that third one. I think the third one was with a runner with 2 runners on, was 2 runners on base, not bases loaded. But how about that? All of his RBIs this year are 2 RBI singles, 3 of them. So another one for him today. That was what started the runs for the Astros, with Caratini and Dezenzo scoring. It's 2-0. Myers to third. Dezenzo crushes one in the 5th inning. His first home run of the year, 393 feet. Walker scored. It's 4-0. So that was great. And then 5th inning, Rojas walked. Run scores 4-1. Single to center for Sosa. 4-3 after the 2 RBI single. Then Luis Robert RBI single gives the tie game, and then RBI single in the 6th inning, given up by Okert, makes it 5-4. All right, Astros individual batters. Jeremy Pena went 1 for 4, single to center, Rogers to second. That was tough luck because Jake Myers got picked off on second base, and right after that, Pena gets an RBI single that would have given the Astros their 5th run. That would have been the 3rd run because that was before the Dezenzo home run. But that would have made things 5-0, and this would have been a 5-5 game. That really hurts the Astros today. Altuve 0 for 4 struggled. He struggled in this series, but hopefully he can get it going against Milwaukee. Christian Walker, terrible yesterday, but today bounced back with a couple singles to center and left. Nice hitting for Christian Walker. Yanner Diaz, amazing series. Not as good today, but still put in nice contact in the 2nd inning with a fly out. And then 3rd inning single to right. Walker to second. Got hit by pitch in the 7th inning. And then Victor Caratini 0 for 3. Walk in the 2nd inning. Dezenzo 2 for 3. He hit a single to center to get Caratini to second. And then hit his 2-run shot in the 5th inning. Cool thing about Dezenzo's home run is now he is there are only, at this point, I think there's only 4 Astros offensively that have not homered this year. The Astros have 9 players. There's only been 13 players to hit for the Astros this year, and they've got a total of 9 players on the roster that have hit home runs. You haven't seen one for Dubon, Chas McCormick, Brendan Rodgers, or who's the other one I'm missing that hasn't hit a home run? I can't think of the final player, but there are still four Astros that on this team that have not homered yet, and so but we'll see how long it's going to take for those guys, Dubon, Rodgers, and McCormick to hit home runs. McCormick hasn't even hit an RBI yet this year. That's one thing. Jas is gonna have to try to knock in an RBI before he can hit a home run, which he could do both, but with just hitting a home run. But Rodgers went 1 for 3. Speaking of Rodgers, he went 1 for 3. Jake went 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He's reached base in 7 straight times. Brendan Rodgers went 1 for 3, single to left, Myers to second. That's what really hurt the Astros in the 4th inning. Rodgers hits the single, Myers gets the second, and then you see Myers get picked off, and then Pena hits a single right after. That's That's just baseball gods for you. Dubon went 1 for 3, single to center to score 2 runs after that. That was it for Mauricio, and that was it. McCullers, speaking of him, McCullers back today. That was great to see Lance back. 3 2/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. I thought Lance looked pretty good. It should have been 4 innings. He should have got a strike call. It was an obvious strike, but at the same time, I will say there were times today where Lance was getting calls in the corner or the bottom of the zone that were not strikes, obvious balls. And so the umpires were cruel to Lance on his last pitch, but there were also a lot of pitches that Lance got that were total, obvious balls, but they were strike calls for Lance McCullers. So I thought that was really one of the only bad calls you saw of the day was the last one for Lance. But 87 pitches, 3 2/3. I know a lot of Astros fans were complaining. Like I saw a couple of Astros fans complaining on X that he only went 4 innings or only pitched 4 innings, and it only had a limit of 75 to 80 pitches. And I'm like, for years, Astros fans, we've been complaining about how he won't make an impact and all he does is sit. And now he finally gets back and he's pitching and you're complaining. It's crazy to me. But I thought he looked good today. He did have a little bit of a walk problem, but look, it's his first game back in 3 years. I thought he threw some really good pitches out there today, and I'm excited to see what he can continue to do. He's gonna as he starts to pitch more, he's gonna feel more loose. He's gonna feel better about what he's doing out there. So it's great to see. Taylor Scott pitched that last out of that 4th inning, got it done in 3 pitches. That was the last we saw of him. Should have maybe seen him in the 5th inning because Ryan Gusto actually really struggled in the in the 5th inning. He gave 2 hits, 2 walks. He gave up 3 runs in that inning, but none of them were, I don't know why, but none of them were charged to him. It's the weird thing. And so he only 2 outs of that inning. Okert comes in, gets the last out. Okert comes in, gets the last out of the 5th inning, and pitches the 6th inning. He pitches the 6th inning, but Okert is not able to get the last out of the 6th inning. Caleb Ort comes in, pitches the last out of the 6th inning, and he gets the out, and that's the last we see of him. So it was McCullers pitching 3 2/3, Taylor Scott pitching the last out of the 4th inning, Gusto pitching the first 2 outs of the 5th, with Okert pitching the last out of the 5th inning and the first 2 outs of the 6th inning, and then Caleb Ort pitching the last pitch of the 6th. And so he got that one out with no damage. Astros lose 5-4, but honestly, I feel like the Astros would have won this game offensively. If you would have been able to see the last 2 innings play out. But so that's unfortunate. But let me know your thoughts on the loss in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.